Once Fauji retires, he is only uniform is gone. Fauji remains Fauji forever. Okay, because Fauji is an attitude.
Sir, could you please explain the selection process that you went through to join the Indian Navy?
If you could give students 3 practical pieces of advice for preparing a career in the armed forces, what would they be?
Be in an expansive mode. When I say expansive mode, be open to the universe. Don't look things with a shorter mindset, with a broad-minded mindset, and let the energy flow.
Failure is a part of every journey. Can you share an instance when you faced a difficult setback and how did you overcome that?
Failure is a step towards your success. So that is how I learned, and I came back on track, and then I became a IT specialist.
Which school subjects should students focus on if they wish to join the Navy or other armed forces?
Physics, chemistry, maths is the best option.
What inspired you to join the Navy? Was there a particular person, incident, book, or experience that motivated you to choose this path?
Leadership is often associated with the armed forces. What makes a good leader? Could you please explain the selection process that you went through to join the Indian Navy?
Hello and a very warm welcome to Delhi Public School podcast. I am Yuvika Chaudhary from grade 11C and I am delighted to welcome you to another inspiring episode. Today we are going to explore a career that represents dedication, discipline, courage and service. Our topic for today's podcast is Career in the Armed Forces, a journey of discipline, courage and service to the nation. We are extremely honored to have with us Captain Anil Gupta sir, who have experienced the life of a naval officer, from student days and preparation to selection, training and service. Today, he is here with us to share his experience and guide the next generation. To take this conversation forward, I am joined by 2 of our depsites. First, we have Pranjal from grade 11C, confident, intelligent and ready with some thoughtful questions. And joining her is Shreyansh from grade 12th D, inquisitive, curious and always eager to learn something new. So, let's begin this inspiring conversation. Pranjal, over to you.
Welcome to the very first segment of our today's podcast, From School Dreams to the Navy. Good morning, sir. It is a pleasure and an honor to have you with us. So, firstly, we would like to understand what eventually took you to the Indian Navy. Could you tell us a little about yourself and share us your journey?
Okay, in short, I've been studied throughout in the KVs and in Chandigarh, and my father was in the Indian Air Force. He was flight engineer, and he's flown for 10,000 hours. So I've seen him growing. So that was a basic, burning desire for me to join forces as a pilot. So that is how I completed my education in science, and then I joined the Indian Navy.
What inspired you to join the Navy? Was there a particular person, incident, book, or experience that motivated you to choose this path?
Yeah, I think my father used to go for flying. I used to keep watching him daily morning 6:30. I've seen him early mornings around 4 o'clock. He's going for the flying routine, flying sorties. So he was living a very disciplined life. He was maintaining his body weight, because you need to maintain your body weight also to fly continuously. If you're overweight, you can't fly. So I think I got inspired with his routine and seen him in the Indian Air Force. So that inspired me to join the Defence Forces.
That's quite fascinating.
So, our school years are often the foundation of our future. How was your school life? Were you academically focused or involved in sports and activities?
Yeah, I had a very balanced kind of a school life, and Kendriya Vidyalaya, Sector 47, Chandigarh was my building block, and I was good in sports in cricket and football. Football we didn't play in school, but football we used to play off the school hours, but cricket we used to play in the school also. So I was active both in the sports also and in the it's very important to have this balance, studies and sports. So because of that thing, I became bit adventurous also, and that is how I led my life. So school time was a real good time, and used to take part in all the cultural activities which improved my communication skills, confidence, you know, interacting with the team abilities as a good team member, as a good team leader. So those things happened in the school. So school has life has been a basic building block which helped me to set my focus what to do in life.
Sir, when you were a student, what did you dream of becoming? Did you always want to join the armed forces?
Yeah, once I still remember that day. A lot of shuffling happens in school. Then class teacher will come. Okay, you'll sit there and there. So I happened to be sitting alone in one of the desk, and everybody was sitting in pairs. So I was little low. Then there was my Hindi teacher. I told him, uh, he was asking me why you so low. So I said, I'm sitting alone. Then he told me कि जंगल में शेर अकेला ही घूमता है. So that so that line, and then kept me going. So then I remember one thought definitely came. You should be socially active, but at the end of the day, you are actually alone. You have to perform alone, and when you're a team leader, you are the team leader, but with a good team. You need to lead the team as a good, but you can't say ki you can't depend upon others as a this thing. You have to take this thing that you're going to do you within yourself, and then comes the team. Because if you're not within yourself, if you're not good, then as a good team member or good team leader, you'll not be able to perform. So that is how I got motivated. And atmosphere at home and in the school, everything was balanced. And so that is how with one name I was going, I have to join forces, army, air force, navy, whatever. But that was the thing.
Your journey shows us that a career is often built through many small decisions and experiences. Now, we would like to understand what happens between deciding to join the Navy and actually becoming a naval officer. And that's what our second segment is: selection and training, the journey to becoming an officer.
Sir, could you please explain the selection process that you went through to join the Indian Navy?
Yeah, as I just shared, I was first class graduate. So that time the scheme had come to join naval aviation. Those who have graduated, and I had gone for the service selection board, where for the naval aviation. So we went through the process where the first screen, we've got 5 days. First screening happened, then psychology test, then uh, gr- GTO test, we can ground task, where the team abilities was also checked. And the fourth day we had interview at fifth day. So there were total 150 of us, and almost two were got selected out of them. You can imagine the kind of selection process was so tough. And then after this, for the pilot, we had pilot aptitude battery test, where now you have these video games. I'm talking about 87, where there was no video game. So how to find out your skills to control. So they have now. So it must have definitely changed. So that time we used to have this PABT. Then after that, once you get selected, you go for the medicals. Once you get, then the merit is there. Then that is how you get selected.
What was the most challenging part of the selection process for you?
See, you go with a lot of confidence, a lot of focused energy. You have to keep yourself well composed, because when you go out there, there's a lot of competition. Even I'm sure this is happening today also. So people play with the mind games. They'll try to put you down so that they can come up. This happens now also. This happens. So you have to keep your calm, composure, and confidence, focused, and then the interview comes. So all these things, your team ability qualities are checked, your positive attitude is also checked, and when you go for the interview is one thing where everybody is petrified, so what's going to happen, what kind of questions the interviewer is going to ask. So that is where the most challenging, but everything went well, because I was still asked ki, what do you the final question they asked me, what do you learn from the honeybees. Then that was the final question in front of the whole panel of judges. So that is the time when I said ki I learned ki we need to be hardworking as bees are, and be a good team member and work as a team. That's all I said. I think that was the final answer, and which made them believe ki I'm at the right place with the right mind.
How did you prepare yourself mentally and physically?
Yeah, see, I've been a fitness freak right from beginning. Since class ninth, I was gymming. That time there were no gyms. We used to have open gyms. So I used to run. I've been athlete throughout. So physically, there was not an issue, and mentally, yes, I was prepared. Mental resilience was there. So I knew ki I had good friends with me, so we were all positive. So that helped. You need to have good friends too, and family is always there. But the friends which you choose, make sure whenever you choose friends, they should be good and positive, so that everyone can evolve together for the betterment.
From selection and training, let's now move to the part that students probably find most exciting: what actually happens when you are serving on duty. With that, now let's move to the next segment: life in the Indian Navy on duty.
Many students think the Navy is only about ships and seas. What does a typical day in the life of a naval officer actually look like?
Okay, I'll divide your question into three answers. One is when you're sailing at sea in action, and the other is when you're posted on board ship, but the ship is not sailing. The third is you're not posted on ship, but you're posted ashore. So the posted ashore, and this is a normal task. You go to the office at the right time, because we cannot be a minute late. We just be in time. So we follow a very disciplined routine, and we go on that, and the normal life. So we come back. We have different challenges that can't be shared in this, because it relates to our office confidential work. So that is one. The second is when you're on a ship and the ship is tied alongside. So that is the time when we maintain the ship. Engine, we get the engine repaired, we get the rations on board, we get the other problems sorted for our officers and sailors, personal problems or some, and then we get the ship ready for the action, because we do sail. And when we go for sailing, what happens is, most of the time we go for sailing, we train ourselves. Like you keep giving your unit test again and again, and final test in the end. That is how we do. We keep going out every month and do some 10-15 days sailing and come back. And in during that sailing, we do those firing exercises and shooting exercises, missile firing, and those kind of things, and we do that. So that part of the sailing is, we have to go, means we have to go when even if the sea is rough and you're not able to even stand. There has been moments when you've been puking, but you have to lock the target and fire the missile. So those kind of things. So when you have to do it, you have to do it. There's no ifs and buts.
Could you tell us about your responsibilities while you were on duty?
Okay, I have done three roles. I joined Indian Navy as a pilot, and then later on shifted to the air navigation because of the accident. So I'd flown seeking helicopters and Dorniers as aircrafts, and then I started writing softwares for the Indian Navy. I became an IT expert, cyber security expert. So we made policies from the naval headquarters for the Indian Navy, what kind of hardware, software, and cyber security, information security policies we made. Then I got shifted to, in addition to that, I became a supply chain management expert, where we procure items for the ship to make the ship war ready. So that kind of role, procurement role, and information security, and writing softwares, and these were three main roles which I've done.
That's
Only.
good. What kind of decisions did you have to make as an officer?
See, the decisions are operational readiness when you're on the target and you have to fire a missile and the orders have come. So that there's nothing. You when the orders have come, there's no further decision. You have to fire means fire. That is one. And secondly, on day-to-day life, when you're working out, if you're I'm making ship ready from the logistic point of view, all those decisions I have to make. How much ration I have to carry, and how many men will go. So what are the further requirements? We have to see in future what's going to happen. So we calculate everything, and accordingly we get ready for the ship. We get the ship ready for the sea, whether if it's monsoons or if the seas are calm. Accordingly we prepare and we go. So those decision making has to be done then and there.
Was there ever a moment during your service when you had to remain extremely calm under pressure? What did that experience teach you?
Yeah, recently when in 2014 or 15, there was a small fire in Sana Bhavan, Delhi. It was happening on my floor. So everybody started rushing and shouting. They were in panic. So that is the time I realized कि I can't panic. I have to remain calm and composed. You know, you're standing in the center of the noise, and you have to, because if I am not if I don't keep calm, how will I take the decision? So that is the time when I started giving orders, do this and do that. We got the fire under control. So that was a very small example. Then later on, officers did come to me and said, "Ki sir, how did you remain calm and composed during this situation?" So that is how. If I was also shouting and running helter skelter, so it would have taken more time and damage would have happened. So that was one of the situations. This happened recently.
Well, what did that experience teach you?
Teach you is situations will change in your life. As a student, when you grow, you will be outside. Situations are going to change. So, in those situations, you have to remain calm and composed. You don't have to react, you have to respond. So, react and respond, you have to understand. So, once you react, the results may not be what you desired. And if you respond, the result may be closer to what you desired. So, that's a difference.
So, listening to these experiences gives us much more realistic picture of life in the Navy. But now I'm sure many students watching us are thinking, can they also join armed forces? Therefore, here we are audience with our segment 4, Armed Forces as a Career.
Many students are curious about joining the armed forces. What are the different career options available after class 10th and after class 12th?
After class 10, up to class 10 to 12, there is an entry for NDA for girls and for boys.
So,
After 11, the age is 16 and a half to 19 and a half is the upper 19 and a half is the upper limit,
yes.
age limit. So for Navy and Air Force, you need to have science, physics, chemistry, maths. For Army, you can have normal, all subjects will do. So that's the difference. So what I have experienced, I keep as at present in my present role also as Jilla Sainik Kalyan Adhikari, I keep inspiring the children, the students of class 11, for girls especially, because for girls earlier National Defence Academy was not open. Recently it got opened, and the girls should. There's a more secured kind of a service you can offer to the nation if you have a passion to serve the nation. So for girls and boys, this is the entry, and I think people should really think and do the career counseling and actually focus on this. And after 10, if they're actually keen on defense forces, they should go for physics, chemistry, maths, so that they have the option to join either army, air force, navy. Because if you take science, arts now, so that option will close only for the army, not for the air force, and because now the Indian Navy is also looking for engineers. Because if you join NDA as a cadet, then later on you will be doing engineering through the Navy.
That's really insightful. Which school subjects should students focus on if they wish to join the Navy or other armed forces?
Yeah, as I previously answered, physics, chemistry, maths is the best option to continue, where you have the option for joining anything, Army, Air Force, Navy. So,
Interesting,
if
sir.
somebody is so passionate about this,
Interesting, sir.
Beside academics, what qualities do selection board looks for in cadets?
see, confidence, communication skills, and you can say the as a team leader, leadership qualities, as a good team member, and hardworking, sincere. These are the basic qualities one should possess, and you can work on these. Like communication, you can work upon, because these are the qualities which will help you. So confidence is one. So these are the basic qualities which I've shared.
Absolutely, sir.
How important are sports, fitness, teamwork, and leadership during school?
Very important. It's the most important thing. You should not take your studies very seriously. Enjoy the process, be in the moment, don't think about the future, don't think about the past. Be in the moment, give your best, play, study, be in the moment. I think you will do better, and the future will shape automatically. So don't worry much about what's going to happen tomorrow.
Many students think armed forces means combat. Could you tell us about different opportunities available such as logistics, aviation, medicine, law and technology?
Yeah, we have logistics, we have aviation, short service. I'm saying, even as an engineer, you joining forces, and then we have doctors coming in. We have education branch. We have teachers there. So these are the basic different branches. We have electrical engineers. We have marine engineers. So pilots, observers, air navigators. We in the Indian Navy we call them observers. They're the air navigators. This is all we have. As far we people go in for diving also. They become divers. They become in army. They become para commandos, and in air force they become they join the Garuda force, like commandos. Na, we have marine commandos in the Navy. We have Garudas in the Indian Air Force, and we have like commandos, paras in the Indian Army.
Women are making remarkable contributions across the armed forces. How are women contributing to it? What lesson would you give to the young girls who aspire to wear the uniform?
Yeah, they're doing awesome as always, as they're doing outside, even in forces. I still remember when 91 I got early years of my commissioning. That is the first time women officers joined in the Indian Navy, and they were welcomed, and they're doing so well. And now we have vice admiral as lieutenant generals as women officers in the army, navy, even in the air force. They're doing very well, and I suggest for the young girls, those who are inspired, those who have passion to serve the country, they should they should join NDA. Even if they are not able to join NDA, then they should look after the graduation. They can join through CDS entry. After the graduation, they can even join short service, and they should go in for that.
That's a wonderful perspective, sir.
For a student who is currently in grade 6 to 12 and dreams of becoming an army or navy officer, what should they start doing from today?
Yeah, what they should do is first of all they should read a little. Not only the subject books, you should develop a reading habit. Pick up self-help books. Uh, then one should do is your friends. You should know which friends are good for your further growth. You know, be with them. Have good friends. And sports, yes, sports will teach you your. It's very important for you to be in sports so that you build up your team leadership qualities, and as a good team member you can be in. So your communication skills you need to work, and we have, I suggest ki your daily self affirmations also will help you to build up your confidence and will shape your personality into a good as a good student, and you'll be ready for the future.
If you could give students three practical pieces of advice for preparing a career in the armed forces, what would they be?
For preparing, as I said, 11th, they should, from 11th onwards, you should start preparing for your competitive, like mathematics comes and the other reasoning exams, English is there. So, all those subjects you should start preparing from 11th. Sports, be active, be in an expansive mode. When I say expansive mode, be open to the universe, not look things with a shorter mindset, with a broad minded mindset, and let the energy flow. Then you will find your performance will improve, you're ready for the exams, your confidence will improve. So this is very important. Just enjoy the process, stay happy, learn to stay happy. Things will come, challenges will come for the students. I will just this thing, be thorough what you're doing, and be focused, not never lose the momentum. See opportunity, what opportunity is, and whatever you have, make the best use of them, and work harder I work, luckier I get. Keep this thing in mind, and in the end, never ever quit, because these things, which points which I just shared, keep them in mind. I think you will get wherever you want to get.
So, those are extremely valuable insight for a student who are considering this career. But the armed forces don't just prepare officer for a profession. They also teach values and life skill that remains useful long after service. Viewers, moving ahead with our segment 5, lessons beyond the uniform. Sir, in your opinion, what does true discipline means for a student?
See, once Fauji retires, he is only uniform is gone. Fauji remains Fauji forever. Okay, because Fauji is an attitude. That attitude you carry all along, and with that attitude you expand further growth and you help the country. You serve the country. So basically, that mode of serving country never dies for a Fauji. Now also, after retirement, I became a Kriya Yogi. I took Kriya Diksha and I do meditation morning, evening, and I do a lot of welfare activities. And my present job role, Jila Sainik Kalyan Adhikari, as of now I am handling Bijnor, Meerut and Muzaffarnagar. So all these places. So there's a lot to do because we a lot of Veer Naris. Veer Naris is a wife of a martyr. So we help them, we guide them. We guide ex-service and veterans. For those veterans, I am the commanding officer for them. So they come to me with their problems. So we have to solve them. So this opportunity which I am getting through to help others through my job, that's God given, and I am very thankful to God for giving me this opportunity. So that is how we expand.
That is a meaningful explanation for a discipline.
What is the biggest life lesson that Navy taught you?
Navy taught me as be brave, and whatever we do, we see as a 4G, we are always ready to give away our life for the nation. So, nation first. This is what Navy has taught me.
That's really insightful, sir.
Leadership is often associated with the armed forces. What makes a good leader?
Yeah, as I said, communication skill, yes, but you need to be compassionate, empathetic. If you're not empathetic, how will you come to know what your men wants? You need to know them and you need to carry them along with you. If you don't carry them along, you'll not be a good leader. As a good leader, be effective, and you should know each and everyone with their name and with their family problems, because then only they'll be able to confide. Then they know ki our leader is with us, and that is it is very important. So this important aspect. We for this in Forge we have darbar in army, and in Indian Navy we have divisional period where I will have my time with my men. That is the time when they share their problems, and that is my duty to resolve their problems. So that is how we build up.
So your experience really add a different edge to this.
Failure is a part of every journey. Can you share an instance when you faced a difficult setback and how did you overcome that?
Yeah, see, at the prime time of my career, when I was young, I met with a near fatal accident. I came under a truck. Then I broke my pelvis into five pieces, and I got my knee damaged, and I was airlifted from Cochin to Pune. I was 3 months bedridden, and it was a big setback because my energy was highly moving dynamic energy, and all of a sudden, for 3 months, I was bedridden. Then that was the time when I realized that I need to move. So as you know, I'm a resilience coach. So then after 3 months, when I started walking again, I learned how to walk again after 3 months. So that was my biggest, but failure. But in those failures, that is how you learn and grow more. So every failure is a step towards your success. So that is how I learned, and I came back on track. And then I became a IT specialist. Then I wrote big softwares for the Navy also. So
That's really inspiring, sir.
Audience, let's dive into our segment 6, Life After Navy. Sir, after spending such an important part of your life serving the Indian Navy, what are you doing these days?
yeah, as I just shared, I am a Jila Sainik Kalyan Adhikari, and that is my role is to look after the welfare of the veterans and their families. And in addition, for my personal growth, I am into a lot of social work, helping, uh, and I am do my sadhana practice, and I do give spiritual guidance to people those who look for. So that is how I am helping the society also.
Do you still find opportunities to use the skills and values you developed during your naval career in your life today?
Yeah. See, I'm technically I'm a very sound guy because of information security. I'm an ethical hacker, so all those skills I have there. So I'm a database analyst in my I've Oracle certified professional. So because these skills you develop, they remain with you forever. So in my present role, what has happened is Uttar Pradesh is becoming more IT savvy. So a lot of new applications are coming in into the UP state government. So it is easier for me to adapt to them and help others also to how to move forward. So that is how my previous experience has come in usage in this present appointment.
So, this has been an incredibly insightful journey from your school days and inspiration to selection, training, service, and life after the Navy. But before we conclude, we have one final interactive segment with you. And now it's time for our most exciting and final segment, the rapid fire round.
So we request you to answer with the first thought that comes to your mind.
One word that describes the Indian Navy,
Pride,
One quality every future officer must possess.
good leader,
one habit that every student should develop before turning 18,
self-discipline,
One book that inspired you.
and autobiography of a yogi, Paramhans Yogananda,
ship or submarine,
ship,
Sunrise at sea or sunset on land.
sunrise at sea,
tea or coffee during service,
tea,
Complete the sentence. Serving India means.
best passion of my life.
So, if you could go back and speak to your 15-year-old self, what advice would you give?
The advice I will share with all the students is be in the present moment, give your best. Don't think about the past or the future. That's it. Thank you very much.
That's a great perspective. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your precious time with us. Over to you, Vika.
Thank you, sir, for being a part of the Daily Public School podcast. Your journey has shown that success in the armed forces is not achieved overnight. It begins with a dream, grows with discipline and hard work, and is strengthened by training and perseverance, and ultimately finds its way in service to the nation. To all our student viewers from classes 6 to 12th, remember, you don't need to have your entire future figured out today, but you can start preparing today. Whether you eventually choose the armed forces or another profession, always strive to become a person who contributes positively to society and to our nation. On behalf of Delhi Public School, thank you for watching podcast episode 9. Keep learning, keep growing, and always remember the value of discipline, courage, and service. Jai Hind.